Okay, so we'll call to order the February 19th, 2019 monthly board meeting at 7 o'clock. Shelley, could you call the roll, please?
Dorsey?
Here.
Tillman?
Here.
Gray? Here. Callahan absent. Riley?
Here. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Allison, are there any changes to the agenda?
There are not.
It's published? Okay, thank you. So, so we have to approve and establish the consent agenda. So this month's consent agenda includes approximate approval of minutes from the regular board meeting held January 15th, 2019, approval of paid expenditures, approval of the expense approval report, approval of the investment summary, approval of the income statement, approval of purchases, and approval of resolution number 254, Freedom of Information Act, FOIA designations.
So moved.
Or just the suggested action.
Oh,
if you just read it.
I'm sorry, I did have to
That's
go down
okay.
a little bit. Entertain a motion to establish the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Gray, second by Dorsey. And call the roll, please.
Gray? Aye. Dorsey?
Aye.
Tillman?
Aye.
Callahan absent. Riley?
Aye. Motion passes.
No, the
Now the
approval.
motion to,
Motion's been approved. Sorry, what?
now the motion to approve.
Oh, motion to approve.
We need a
Motion to approve the...
So the first was
approve. We established it, now we need a motion to approve the consent.
Oh, motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
So, Tara? Second?
So moved. Second, sorry.
Okay, motion by Dorsey, second by Gray.
Now it's all in favor.
All in favor, say, oh, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Just asked if anybody's opposed.
Oh, opposed? Okay. Man, I hope that was the toughest one. Okay.
We'll go
That was
easy
the
on
tough part. Now it's the smooth sailing the rest of the way. Okay, so matters from the public. Yes, anyone like to come forward and comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to the next item. Matters from the commissioners. Anyone like to comment, say something?
Congrats again to Eric on his big award last month, just a couple weeks ago. And I saw the email came with all the pictures. I was like, where's the one with us in it? Oh, man. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Absolutely, congratulations. Great award. And
Was the video that you posted or the participant posted, was that from the IPRA website of his speech? His little...
It was from the IPRA Facebook.
Got it, okay.
platform.
Because I was like, I didn't think that was from... You couldn't have taken that from where you were.
No, I don't
Got
have
it,
those kind of
all right.
skills.
That was awesome. Eric's famous.
And also from the conference, there was a conference last month. Park districts from around the state attended, and the Park District also received a couple of other very nice awards. I think we're going to talk about a little bit later, so I won't spoil that. But Batavia Park District did very well, so you should be proud of everybody here.
We're killing it.
We are. Oh, that plus with the workplace, the best
Yeah.
place to work, and the financial awards we've been winning, so terrific.
We are a top-notch organization.
Just keep raising that bar.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, correspondence. And there is a letter. Actually, it was congratulating Eric on his award, which I thought was very nice. And one thing I noticed, Eric, you probably didn't see this, but the Allison received notice that you were going to receive this award on December 11th, and you did not receive the award until a little over, actually a month and a half later, and so you didn't have to be surprised, but like you did with me when I went in. But isn't that an awkward feeling?
We're our own little fraternity.
Yeah. But Allison must write very nice nominations or something because you've done.
Oh, I write them about people that are very deserving of them,
Okay.
so.
Well, thank you. But now, I mean, it's an awkward feeling up there in front of 4,000 people.
Yeah.
And your mind just,
Yes.
goes blank. Okay, announcements. Katie?
Thank you. All right, get ready to shake your groove thing at our Disco Fever themed roller skating night at Funway on this Friday, actually, February 22nd from 7 to 11 p.m. There will be some funky fun on the roller rink floor for the whole entire family. We want to encourage you to come dressed in your best disco themed outfits because we are going to be offering the opportunity to win best costume in 2 categories for kids or for 16 and older. So you can win some amazing prizes. So we hope to maybe see some polyester, some wrap dresses, some bell bottoms, twirling as our DJ spins some disco classics like Thelma Houston, Peaches, and other songs from the 70s. And just a reminder that kids under grade 5 must be accompanied by an adult, and the fee is just $15. And if you have warm weather on the brain, so does the Depot Museum. We want to encourage you to join museum staff on March 2nd at the Peg Bond Center from 10 a.m. to noon for the Victory Garden Seed Swap. You can come enjoy the morning trading seeds and dreaming about your summer garden with your neighbors. The fee is just $5 to participate, and you're encouraged to bring your excess seeds, your clean pots, and maybe any other gardening supplies that you might be interested in swapping with your friends. Speaking of the Depot Museum, the Depot doors open for the 2019 season starting on March 4th. You don't want to miss out on checking out, they have a brand new exhibit called Peek Inside Batavia History that features some rare interior photographs of Batavia that kind of give a little bit better insight into what daily life was like in the past. The exhibit runs until July 21st. And also we want to encourage you to save the date for the March 21st Fly Girls of World War II, WASPs, as part of the Batavia Women's History Month programming. And then also between ice storms, heavy snowfall, polar vortexes, fourth time's a charm. Our New Horizons preschool open house just can't seem to get a break this winter, but we are happy to announce that staff plans to reschedule the open house for the preschool on March 14th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. so that you can meet our amazing teachers, check out all our classrooms, and then of course, we always want to encourage, if you can't make it, we want to encourage you to reach out to Lori McDonald, our program supervisor, to schedule a private tour. She can be reached at 630-879-5235, extension 2061. And of course, for all other information about the Park District, you can always check out our website at bataviaparks.org or give us a call at our main phone number. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next are staff reports.
I'll kick that off. I just wanted to let everybody know, and our listening audience as well, Thursday at the Books Between Bites, which is a long-standing event here in Batavia, our own director of our museum, Jennifer Putzier, is going to be reviewing the book The Madness of Mary Lincoln, which is a book written recently, within the last couple of years, chronicling 24 undiscovered letters that were written by Mary about her experience, most of them written while she was here at Bellevue in Batavia. So it's going to be kind of fun. It's over at the library at noon on Thursday. So yeah, she's I'm looking forward to going and getting to listen to it. So thank
Did you read the book?
I have not read the book. No, it's Cliff Notes. That's what she's doing.
Say, what are your work plan goals? Could be a book report. We can make that
Yeah,
happen.
I'll take notes for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'll do the rest of my report later.
So at the end of last month, Tammy and I were able to complete all our required tax filings. We've closed up last year now except for our annual audit, and we actually had the planning meeting for the audit at the end of the month as well. Field work for the audit, final field work for the audit will be the third week in March, and you should have received a email in your Park District email accounts from the auditors with a questionnaire. That's a standard procedure as part of the audit. They like to reach out and do a quick interview with those charged with governance. If you haven't seen that yet, please let me know. Otherwise, please respond to them if you can before field work, and if there's any questions, I'd be happy to help where I can. Then earlier today, actually, the governor signed a minimum wage bill, which will have some impact on us. It does apply to local governments, and we're one of the largest employers of youth in the community, so this will have an impact on future budgets. It doesn't go into effect this year. It's a 6-year phase-in starting in 2020, but we will see some impact in future budgets there. It goes up to $15 an hour by 2025.
Seems a little slow.
It's about $1 per year. And it doesn't apply to us, but there is some tax credits to businesses it does affect. That doesn't really help us, but
That impacts our lifeguards and all the, because we hire a lot of folks.
It impacts a lot of people.
Right.
And ironically, we had budgeted to do a part-time compensation study this year, so now we're just going to put a hold on it because we're going to have to make sure that this actually comes to fruition. I mean, it looks like that's what, unless for some reason it gets vetoed, but it's not going to.
Yeah, and I think we can consider this
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
effective.
Yeah.
So now we just need to focus on the plan and making sure that we can sustain having all the part-time help that we have get up to speed. So at some point, we may have a hiring freeze on part-time staff so we can make sure that we, our staffing plan is alignment with what our budget is, but also that we are planning, we've got a long-term plan for staffing and that we're not creating compression with some of the more tenured staff that have been here
right.
that are hourly.
With some of those programs we've been doing, introducing new programs might bring some additional revenue, so maybe offset some of that. But you're right. It's still your bottom line.
It's a big swing, honestly. We're going up from $8.25 ultimately to $15 an hour. It's it's going to require a comprehensive look both in pricing, offering, and our staffing plan. It's a big change. But
Is it gonna, would the minimum wage increase be reflected in a cost of living increase for the rest of the staff? Because minimum wage is gonna go up, so then I just don't want to degrade full-time staff, is where that's how I personally feel.
That's an excellent question. It probably indirectly will impact the CPI overall, which is what we base, which is what our tax levy is based on and everything like that too. That's something Alice and I honestly have to talk about. We want to make sure we're fair to everybody, but I don't want to downplay this either. This alone is going to be pretty significant cost.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds like.
So that's kind of a non-answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It was kind of not a rhetorical question, but I want you to kind of consider that as well when you guys are doing a full assessment. Because obviously we can't cut staff, especially during the summer months when we're busiest. And it's true, we do take on a lot of part-time employees, but we also have full-time employees where I don't want them to feel slighted because in 2025, somebody's getting $15 an hour and they're only making $17 an hour, or however it works out,
Right. And I think this also puts some pressure on our volunteer program as well, and the recruitment and retention of volunteers.
It's good though, because we're a top workplace, so we have that going for us. And an increase in minimum wage could also open up the field for people with different talents that might not consider the position because, not like it's a low pay, but because of the pay. You know what I mean? So there's definitely potential there.
And at one point, I know there was concern that the minimum wage increase was going to have an exemption for government. But then we thought, oh, great, then we're going to end up with the people that are going to be making less than what the minimum wage for all the private sector is. But that's no longer a concern, so everybody is going to be moving together in that direction.
Nice.
But, unless there's any questions, that's all I have for you guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It's one of those stay tuned, ...
Yeah.
Very much.
Really.
Well, first off, I wanted to say thank you for the recognition for the award at the state conference. Very humbled, but I'm very happy. The comments still keep coming in. Allison, thank you for nominating me. It was
You're very deserving.
awesome. Katie for putting another hit in the paper, so I get another wave of people coming at me. And then all the staff for their support and keeping a really good secret. I'm just, the more and more I hear, it's like, oh my gosh.
And
You know
Commissioner-
exactly what I'm talking about.
Commissioner Tillman left a work meeting so he could, or left work so he could be
That
there.
was huge.
And then-
Yeah, I could start leaking.
Wouldn't have missed it.
So, and then the official part of my report is I wanted to tell everybody right now, we have 10 inches of solid ice on the depot pond. It has been being cleared daily to keep it groomed and in the appropriate condition for skating. I also wanted to give a heads up as we get rapidly approaching the end of February, the quality ice will deteriorate quickly. Usually starts turning like a grayish, light gray, white, which is aerating the ice. Quality gets very soft, so you want to be aware of the temperatures. And even if we were to get another cold snap, the ice might not be appropriate. But for right now, as long as the green flags are flying and the open or sign is out, please come down and enjoy the skating on a depot pond. But also be aware of the red flags too, because we check that when we're open at least 2 times a day, and we're watching out for your safety. So, thank you. Any questions?
Perfect. Earlier this February, we had our annual daddy-daughter date night. A great success. Our highest attendance yet of 640 people. Yes, very cute. Lots of dads and daughters had a great time. The rec team is evaluating the program, definitely going to make some adjustments on some new activities, make it a little bit more of an intimate event for both dad and daughter. We had 109 girls sign up in 2 days in registration of drop-in for softball. So great numbers. Last year in total, we had 168. So we're looking to exceed that by that sign up. The rec department and the park district are going to be having a rec intern this summer. It will be a 12-week internship. We'll be working with accredited recreation administration colleges to get that hired, and we'll be having them tour and work with each department at the park district. So very excited about that.
Yeah, dog park.
Eric already has plans for them.
Yeah.
So there's a little competition here amongst the department heads. They all want to win over the intern, so they'll find out, what interest the intern has, if it's in parks, marketing, recreation, finance, and they try to win them over to the other side. Like they may come in as a parkie, but then marketing will say, I want them to fall in love with marketing, and then they want to go into my direction. So they're all very competitive about that, which is great because they work even harder to make sure the intern's experience is great.
Definitely.
All the secrets.
Yeah. Get a little taste of everything, yes. This upcoming week, February 25th through March 2nd, is our Aloha Week for the Quarry. Very excited. This week last year, we sold 1,319 passes, which was 52% of our sales for season passes. So we're going to have a very busy, exciting week next week. So you can check us out at the Eastside Community Center or the Civic Center to buy those passes. And that is it for me, unless anyone has any questions.
People are very excited about Aloha Week.
Very,
A
yes.
lot of questions lately.
Are you planning on the softball in the last couple of years? They've been trying to build that up and have tournaments, and are you still going to continue to do that to make a focal point? Okay.
Yes, Ryan has 3 tournaments this summer, so definitely making those a focal point, bringing in teams from out of town, getting people into Batavia. So we're definitely keeping on track with those.
Okay, yeah, great.
And ironically, the name of the program is Softball Explosion, and it truly has exploded.
Yeah, it really has the last couple of years.
So it's appropriately named.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Well, as Brittany mentioned, we've been really focusing this current week on all the Aloha Week promotions, so we've got some fun things up our sleeves that we've been pushing out there that I think Allison might share with you later. But speaking of the quarry, super excited. Brittany and I are actually meeting with Joshua Schultz. He's a local artist. He actually did the Bruce the Spruce Bulldog for the district in 2018. But he's the artist that was selected for the quarry mural that we will be doing this summer. It's a mural that's going to be showcased on the quarry pump house. So we're really excited. We're going to talk about some potential design, get some sketches, and we'll share those with you guys at a later date. We're hoping to get that installed before the quarry season opens on May 25th this year. Yeah. And then also, I give you guys the 2019 special events calendar there just for you to enjoy. There's kind of something special and unique about our calendar this year. We actually, because it's our 50th anniversary in 2019, we have hidden 50 of our logos in the poster. So for those of you at home that want a fun activity with your kiddos, if you'd like a copy and you want to try to find all of the hidden logos, it's actually some are really hard. You're welcome to stop by the Civic Center and grab your own copy. But yeah, this is something fun we're doing as part of the 50th anniversary. Thanks. And then speaking of design projects too, we're super excited. We are going to move forward with the design mentorship program with the high school. So we've been working with Kathleen Tierton at the high school, and she's in the process of selecting a student right now. But we've identified that individual is going to actually help us with a new Celebration of Lights Festival event logo that's going to be used in tons of different promotional materials. So this will be a really great experience for another young member of our community to give them some real life professional experience. And then other than that, that's all I got really. So thank you. Welcome any questions if you guys have any.
Have you received many registrations for the disco rollerblade, or not rollerblade, the roller skating disco?
We have low numbers currently, and I'm suspect of because of the crazy weather we've been having, because it seems to be all over the place. But I've been verbally told by a lot of groups that they plan on signing up. Like there's a local roller derby crew. They're like, yeah, we're going to be there. So they a lot of people have told me they're going, but I think probably again everybody's kind of probably waiting to see what Mother Nature is going to do. But you can sign up at the door as well. So
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, Brittany and I will be in 70s outfits there as well, working the event. So we're just trying to figure out what that means.
I know you got the polyester.
We're gonna do Farrah Fawcett hair, maybe. That's I don't know. We don't know.
We're still planning.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Any questions?
You have to use your Austin Powers voice.
I like the web stats. They're looking great. I think it's
Thank
really,
you.
You're also partnering with Pure Eye later on, so that'll be nice to see, the scope of work that they're going to come up with. And then, using these stats, kind of applying that to the website, the structure, everything like that, and focusing on user experience. That's very cool. I'm excited. I talked to Len about it.
Awesome.
I was like, just so you know, he's excited too. This was the first park district that he actually developed the website for.
That was back when I was director of marketing.
Yeah, and he was like,
How long ago it was?
he said, ever since then, people have been like, who designed the website? So I think it's a great partnership with a local business in Batavia.
Yeah.
They do great work, and I'm excited to see the results.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait for you to take that project on.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
It's gonna come together pretty, hopefully quickly, but also just it's gonna develop kind of after we have that initial meeting with them. So I'm excited.
And Kitty's done a great job with focus groups too. Although we had a public focus group scheduled, but then the weather hit.
The weather is like, this whole month has been like time off because of the weather.
Right?
Tell me about it. Kids need
Mother Nature needs some help right now.
She needs a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working too.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Okay, the executive director's report.
All right. Uh-oh, this is when John starts the copying
Yeah, he's gonna, drowned you out.
timing.
Don't make me laugh.
this has definitely been a very
that.
busy last 30 days.
Look at
In that time, we have the smiley face Eric there, our Director of Parks and Properties, for those of you at home. Eric was very deserving of the Illinois Park and Recreation Association and Illinois Association of Park Districts Community Impact Award. So there were only 3 major awards that IPRA gives out. IAPD also gives out 3. Kevin Riley, our commissioner here, is a recipient of one of the IAPD awards years ago. And this year, Eric is our shining star. Also to the right, we have our marketing team. That's our Director of Marketing, Katie Drum, with the graphic designer, Laura Ferguson, and Kelly Haig, our Marketing and Sponsorship Coordinator. They received first place for Best Video with the Peace on Earth video. That went viral and now has over 40,000 views. I know you're going to say like 75,000 at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, 75,000 views. They want to oversell it and then find out. But also we received 3rd place for Best Logo, Windmill City Festival. So out of all the park districts in the state of Illinois that go to this conference, which is hundreds, Batavia still comes out on top.
Yep.
Now the silly side of the park districts, this is our daddy-daughter date night. So kudos to Brittany Bruno, who newly promoted to the Director of Community Recreation position, and she was also still quasi Special Events and Aquatics Manager or Supervisor. So here she organized the Daddy-Daughter Date Night event while carrying on her department head role, and she's brought in some princesses. The dads, some of the dads snuck in there. A lot of the dads said, "Okay, girls, it's all you. You can take the glory for the picture here." But as Brittany said, 640 people. That's an all-time record for us. So we're just trying to figure out now the logistics of next year. Do we split it into 2 events, or do we keep it a big, massive, monumental event like this? But clearly, the smiles say it all. Speaking of smiles. In the stripes is Tiffany Green. She's our customer relations manager. And we have Shelby on the right. Shelby is actually our customer relations advisor. And this area here is called the Coffee Nook. So there's a theme this year, and we're taking all of the dead spaces that we've identified, and we are renovating them into manageable spaces where we're trying to maximize the most out of each area. So this used to be a coat room. There were coat racks, lockers that weren't being used, really a place for people to kick off their muddy boots and throw their coats on the floor, at least the little kids would. And now it's actually an area where we have USB ports so people can charge their phones. It's a complimentary coffee and hot chocolate station. Eric is the chairman for the facilities committee, and he made sure there's hot chocolate because he knows that not everybody here is a coffee drinker, but we need our caffeine. But this is for our customers, and some of the internal customers benefit too, but this is really for all of you external customers. And you can see in the corner there, we're trying to go green. Katie is in charge of our green committee, and so she's ordered the garbage cans that reflect, the twofold use. So we're really proud of this area. We find that kids do their homework here at this coffee nook. Moms find a really comfortable place to be able to read a book. We have multiple tables, so it's really worked out for us. Again, maximizing the most out of space. Speaking of, since that's the theme, another dead area we had was over at the Eastside Community Center gym. The J. Murphy Gym, this is the main stage up above. Sometimes we would host birthday parties occasionally up there, but we've decided to create a storage unit. And because we do have a lot of miscellaneous things that are in different various closets, and they're really small closets, everything's not in one place. So our very talented Parks Department conceptualized this beauty, and it's far more gorgeous in person, I promise. And it almost looks like a little house. There's even a little bit of a steeped roof on it, so that way in case somebody really overthrows on their basketball, it'll slide down off of a mesh roof on top. Also, again, going back to our creative Parks Department here, these doors here are actually sliding barn doors. because you can see how close it is to the edge of the stage, and actually those are just pickleball nets that we're using for storage right now, using that up there. But, so it's nice that the barn doors just slide to the side, so you're not gonna end up knocking somebody off by accident by opening the door, or somebody trying to get out from inside the closet. So again, maximizing the most out of space. And now I'm going to take you inside the Eastside Recreation offices. This is the conference room over at the ERO. I wish I had a before picture for you. Every one of those chairs was mismatched, and they were from the 1970s. Now, you can see they're actually comfortable chairs. Again, the Parks Department has worked closely with Brittany and her team on stripping the carpeting off the floors. So the floors used to be blue carpeting, and every time you step foot on it, your little puff of dust would come up. Even though they've been cleaned and cleaned and cleaned, it was really old carpeting, and this beautiful wood was laying underneath. So again, renovating, taking existing and making it better. So Brittany and I have been working very closely with Recreation Results, which is the company we've hired Bobby Nance to do the strategic plan for. And what's been wonderful about that is next month's board meeting, Bobby's going to come and present some of the results that she has that she'd like to share with the park board. So she'll provide a report ahead of time, and all of you can certainly ask questions so we can prep her in advance of what some ideas you have about the report. But ultimately, this is going to be an ongoing process. We're going to be working on the park section of the strategic plan, but we're really eager to get this going and underway. Also this year, Ms. Shelley Kuzis she's spearheading the Illinois Distinguished Accreditation Project. So I'm going to be working very closely with her and all the department heads on tightening up our policies. And we'll be coming before the park board. If you remember, this was 5 years ago. We went through this process, so I think Commissioner Dorsey's the only one that hasn't been through it.
I'm so excited to.
And so really, the purpose of Distinguished Accreditation is really to improve upon the delivery of the services we provide the community. And so it tightens up our policies, our best standards, best practices, and it's really a self-evaluation of our performance. But we actually get evaluated by a panel of judges. And not everybody passes, and there's a very stringent criteria. And so we're really eager to get this process going. And it's a 1.5-year process, but we're ready for it, ready for the challenge. And we're in the process of applying now. Mitch had mentioned in his report the breaking news about minimum wage. So again, minimum wage is $8.25 an hour now. Come January 1st, it'll be $9.25 an hour. July of 2010, whoa, I just went back in time. July of 2020, it will go up another $1, and then it'll go up $1 every year at January 1st until 2025 when it's $15. We are in the thick of hiring for summer. So those of you at home, if you're parents, talk to your children. We are looking for lifeguards, cashiers, paddle boat attendants, parks operation workers, you name it. So please head to our website, bataviaparks.org. We have every position under the sun, literally, posted. And we have a little video. This is a treat for all of you. A video that was created by Shelby Hinterlong's 2 children, Isabel and Oliver. And you saw Shelby a little bit earlier sitting in the coffee nook, and her daughter actually wrote a jingle for Aloha Week, which we're going to show you now. And it's ukulele is by her son, and the singing is by her daughter.
You did awesome.
Yay, the next YouTube sensation. That just goes to show too, our marketing department is always trying to think of new ways to get people involved and new viral concepts, and Jingle's a great way to do it.
They did amazing. They took it like to a whole different level than I just was like, hey, Oliver and Izzy, can you come in and play the ukulele? And they like wrote the new song. They did all that on their own.
So it's copyrighted. And then my last but not least,
We still have stink bugs.
we do.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
But we still
They
stink
won't die. Yeah.
But that's a wrap. Thank you.
You're the one that
Thank you.
So we're thinking warmer thoughts with the Aloha sale, but living through the cold winter.
The music alone let me feel like I was
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so now we have a presentation. So thank you for waiting for the first part of the board meeting. So we have an overview of the East Side Community Center renovation project. Doug, I'll probably mess this up, Holtzraker?
Very good.
Okay.
All right.
Williams Architect will be present tonight to give us an overview of the East Side Community Center renovation project. We've seen some pictures, looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Thank you. Allison, can I borrow
The clicker, sure.
clicker? Thank you.
You got it. Do you have a little jingle you can sing with it?
That's a hard act to follow. I don't have a jingle. Okay, thank you. Yeah, my name is Doug Holtzrichter with Williams Architects, and I'm happy to introduce our team here with us tonight. Tom Milan on the right here is principal with Williams Architects, and Sean Leiter, the gentleman with the wonderful beard, is assisting us with the project as well. So we're happy to be here tonight and happy to be working on your project as well. Just a overview of the project. The work that we are doing at the East Side Community Center is essential work at this point in time. It's needed to repair and to make improvements that are necessary to keep the facility in good condition. Kind of hard to read this, but I'll walk through it with you quickly. First of all, we are replacing all of the windows and doors with thermally efficient, energy efficient products. The windows will be replaced throughout, with the exception of the gymnasium, where we will be removing the high upper windows and replacing with insulated wall panels. As I mentioned, we're replacing all of the exterior doors as well. And at three main entrances, we're providing electronically controlled access to those entryways. We are tuck pointing and repairing masonry, the brick veneer where needed. All of the roofing will be replaced. And in addition to the roofing, we'll be adding insulation. There are some areas, especially the older areas of the original building, where there's literally no insulation aside from the wood roof deck that was installed originally. On the west wing, which was built in '95, there is some insulation, but we'll also be improving that and bringing it up to current energy standards. Along with the new roofing, we'll be installing new metal fascias around the perimeter and new gutters in some locations. We are eliminating the skylights as well and roofing over the skylight locations. We'll be replacing 2 rooftop HVAC units, which are on the west wing of the existing building. And then last but not least, we are expanding and upgrading the existing kitchen. And we'll walk you through some plans here in a second. I don't know if it'd be better to turn up a couple slides, or it might be easier to see.
Yeah, that's good. That's
But
perfect.
first of all, just a little bit about the project schedule. This is the overall schedule. So we are in the process of completing the first phase, the design phase, and with this, we've prepared drawings which we will be showing to you, and we are making some decisions on materials and different approaches to replace items such as the roof and and adding insulation, etc. Following the design phase, which will be wrapping up here shortly, we'll be starting the construction document phase. And actually, we've already started that. And that involves all of the drawings that will be necessary for bidding and permitting and constructing the work. And then we move into the bidding and permitting phase, which will be in April and May. Backing up, the construction document phase should wrap up in April. Bidding and permitting in April and May. And then we plan to start construction in early June and be done by the end of August, giving you occupancy of the building in early September, the first week in September. So that's the general goal of the project at this point in time. By the way, if you have any questions along the way, please don't hesitate. This is the overall plan of the building. And your new parking lot is up here to the top of the page. North is actually to the left. This is the existing gym. So the majority of this building was built in 1960. And then this wing here was added in 1995. So this wing is actually certainly more up to date. But still, the windows need to be replaced along this west side, as well as all of the other windows. There are a number of door locations along this north side. What we'd like to do is eliminate any door that we can, and still maintaining the required egress capacities and those egress locations that are required by code. With that said, we will likely be keeping one door on the north side at this point in time, which is in this location. And it has everything to do with making sure that people can exit the building properly. With the gymnasium, the windows I spoke about earlier, the high windows are along the east and the west and east sides, which we'll be eliminating. This is the location of the existing kitchen, which we are expanding. Right now, the existing, and we'll get into this a little bit more, but the existing footprint is here, and we're expanding it into these adjacent spaces.
Doug?
Yes.
Quick question. On those doors?
These doors.
Yep. I'm familiar with them. My kids went there.
Oh, yeah.
Why get rid of them?
Great question. When we look at the window lines and thinking about what we want to do to bring it up to aesthetically up to a better level, we thought having those doors provide a little bit of a challenge, and it doesn't allow us to put windows in those locations necessarily. And plus, if they're not necessary, why pay money to put doors in? Doors are expensive, hardware is expensive, and I think ultimately if they're not needed, it'd be better to put windows in place of those doors. Now, there has been some discussion about functionality. Do they aid in the functionality of those classrooms? And if they do, well, that's another discussion. But I'm not certain that from the discussions we've had, I'm not sure that there's a great deal of function remaining for those doors.
And back in the day, I think it was emergency evacuations, and that's why the doors were there. But the teachers have they use the hallway, they use other methods.
Well, it's kind of treacherous, those little steps, just like a brick.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's always, I think with doors, it's certainly, for egress reasons, you need doors. But if you don't need a door, if it's something that's there just, left over, which is more or less in this case, the leftover, it's another control issue.
Right.
Thermally as well, the doors are not nearly as thermally efficient as the new brick wall and the window system will be. So we're going to, every time we can save on that, it's going to be to our advantage.
Okay, great.
So when you take out those doors and replace with windows, it's not going to look like a door used to be there.
Right.
Is it?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Yeah. We will, however, have to, there's the brick veneer, or the sill of the brick is about here. The doors do come down to the floor, of course, so we will have to fill in those areas where we are removing the doors below the windowsill.
Right.
We'll do that so that it's aesthetically fitting with the window system that we're using. And/or we could use brick to match, so you never know it. This is the kitchen blow-up, and so again, the existing kitchen is in this area, so we're taking advantage of this space to the north of the existing kitchen, which was utilized for storage. Allison showed you the new storage on the gymnasium stage, so we are able to move some of this out of this area, some of the items that were stored here, into that new storage. This is really important space to make this kitchen work functionally well. So it becomes a teaching kitchen as well as a catering kitchen. Along the east side here, we have prep sink, counter space, convection oven, and a range. So there will be an exhaust grill in this area. In the center of the room, we have the opportunity to put a large workstation, which can be used for prep for catering and/or teaching classes. We can have classes here. We can set up portable cooktops around the perimeter, and I think we can have up to 5 to 6 teams for single coupling along that island, which is a pretty good sized island. I think it's about 5 by 12. Plastic. In addition to that, we need a washing area, which would be along this line here. This is a dirty drop-off area, and a utensil area washer. We need a mop set and stuff we need to wash in as we store it. And a hand sink here. We also have a hand sink here with the hook line, which is water. And back in this area, we have refrigeration, freezing, 2 units here. We have an ice maker, and we have a place for portable parts as we bring to the store. So you can see it's pretty easy to use up the space. And we are using kitchen design consultants as well to work with us on this layout, and I believe this is going to function very well.
So Doug, thank you for just mentioning that. I've been in many school kitchens and other kitchens facilities where someone puts a kitchen in and it's not functionally proper for the people using it. And so thank you for saying that you have a designer, and also if it's too late, is it possible to get some of our instructors who are actually using this kitchen to look at this to see if this works for me or no, it doesn't?
I believe that's already been done. They've done some interviewing and talking about how to use and what kind of major things. We're really restricted. And of course, we got lots of really great, huge ideas, but Doug and his team were able to condense that down into this really precise kind of design.
We talked to some of the preschool teachers and some of our cooking class instructors, so we did some interviews with them on the use of this and what they need for those classes.
Okay.
And actually, if I'm not mistaken, President Callahan has also met with you to discuss how to make it as multifunctional as possible. But prior to this board meeting.
Okay. Thanks. That's good.
Any other questions about the kitchen, which is certainly a very vital part of the whole project?
Eric wants to know what the little tiny rectangle in the corner over there is.
Oops, sorry.
You don't get to see.
Are you talking about
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
This is an existing chase, and we are actually making it a little bit more, we're softening this corner a little bit, but we believe that there's some mechanical in that corner. Eric, can you confirm that?
I know there's something there, but I thought it was farther into the wall itself.
Yeah, right now this corner is boxed
It bumps out, yeah.
This corner is boxed out.
I thought it was a change, but it looks like you put a door on there. And I'm
We actually, we added a diagonal wall here
Yeah.
to kind of soften that
Yeah.
corner.
I do have a quick question too. I'm so excited about this project, by the way, but Are all the units a certified commercial unit so that we can utilize the space as a certified commercial kitchen?
They'll all be.
So that area where the kitchen is, outside, and then that kind of big foyer entryway, that's going to be some of the space also? Or that space is changing?
The foyer remains as it is.
So where's all the section? The two storage units that you don't see.
There are two huge closets that you really don't even know are there.
That are in that hall by the back.
Yep.
Got it.
Yes, so this is the hall, and right now the wall, we're going to take out this wall and put it back in. There's a door here and a door here. So, yes, we're taking out this wall. Good question. Again, right now, this floor is a step down from this floor, and this floor ramps down from here to there. So we'll have to level that as well. And likely take up this whole floor that we have planned. Any other questions? Aside from the kitchen, the roof line is a bit of a challenge for us as well. The way the old roof was drained was I should say built to begin with, this part in particular, it's virtually flat. And there's one drain in this location. And there's a lot of ponding that occurs up there now. I've been up there when I'll bet you there's been a couple of inches of water up there. And it's remarkable that it hasn't. It probably hasn't. It's remarkable that the building stays as dry as it does. So we're a little bit challenged by, we have to come up with a drainage plan, and we have to pitch the roof at least 1/4 of an inch per foot. That's the goal. And with that, we'll be using a single ply, likely a rubber membrane roof. And there's, like I said, there's one roof drain that we know of right now. We do have to make a final inspection up here yet to make sure that we have a full understanding, but we're quite certain there's only one drain here now. And so that takes on most of this water somehow. Somehow the water gets there eventually, or it just puddles and dries eventually. This part of the roof, which is the 1995 version, does have 3 drains, and it's a much better design because of the roof. So there's a more proper furniture. We'll still have to add insulation even to this area. And when we add insulation, we build the roof up quite a bit. We'll have to have a minimum of 5 inches of roof insulation over the existing roof here. So we're going to have to be building it up with, we use tapered insulation. And so we were looking at a couple of ways to do it yet. We're either going to abandon this existing drain and pitch everything to the perimeter, and we'll have to use gutters to pick up that water, because we're hesitant to add a whole bunch of new roof drains on this roof. If we're adding new roof drains, that means we're running large plumbing through the building to pick up those roof drains. And we believe that by adding gutters to the perimeter will serve the building well. The other thing we want to make sure that we're comfortable with is if we do use the existing roof drain piping, actually what happens is this roof drain drops down in this area, drops down below the floor, and then there's a cast iron pipe under the floor, I believe, that runs to the west. We want to make sure that we fully understand the condition of that pipe before we start using it for new drainage. So that's one of the things we have to verify. As an option, we could do something where if we're comfortable with using the existing drain, we may use it, we may add one. It allows us to reduce the amount of roof insulation buildup without getting too much into the weeds here. It will help reduce the amount of tapered insulation that we have to add against the gymnasium. In any event, we are looking at that second option. Like I said, this is a little bit of a challenge. We want to make sure that we do it properly and keep you leak-free for a long time.
Has Commissioner Callahan looked at your roof design?
I have not spoken with Pat specifically about the roof design, but I would like to do that. Again, just to make, because I know he'll have an interest in it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
If you were to use gutters, would you have to increase the pitch of the roof?
No more than we would normally.
And then are there going to be like gutter guards to keep them from clogging up with anything or anything?
Certainly could be. Certainly could be. That's an item we want to talk to staff about as well. And I think, to that point as well, all of the decisions we're making, whether it be the type of roofing, the type of gutter, the type of window frame, we'll make sure that staff is fully apprised of it and in agreement with it as well. Again, we did share some of these with Pat Callahan, so Pat and I have talked a little bit about this. This is an elevation of the building along the west side. Your playground is now located right along this side of the building, the new playground. So we right now the windows, the glass extends from the windowsill up to the roof line, which is about here. By the way, this is the roof of the gymnasium in the background. So we are looking at, on this west elevation, replacing these doors and replacing the glass and the window frames, again with energy efficient systems. And along the top, instead of using glass, we'd like to introduce a thermally insulated panel. It would be about 2 inches thick, some insulation. And we could, with that, introduce different colors on those panels. This is not necessarily a final color scheme, but it gives you an idea of what we can do. Right now, on this side of the building, as you likely know, there's a mural on the glass, which does a couple of things. It not only introduces a design to the building, to the glass, but it also offers some shade to the interior of the building. And we may look at something like that again as well. So, but first and foremost, we don't believe that having additional glass all the way to the roof line is necessary. Having glass from the top of the door elevation down should be enough. So that's what we are considering.
Are those panels opaque?
They are opaque, yes. They'll be solid. Likely have aluminum skins over the insulation. Aluminum skins.
Would the color fade over time?
Not likely, no. And it certainly depends on which colors are selected. Some do hold up better than others. But there are so many wonderful materials and coatings these days. Yeah.
Being that we're considering the aluminum, that can be powder coated.
Oh,
So
perfect.
it's not a paint. It's actually pretty much like
And the powder
Goes
coatings,
through electrolysis to connect to it?
Yeah, it's like a permanent.
and the powder coatings work much better than some of the other types of coatings.
Yeah, that's cool.
The interior we haven't really gone into this depth, but would be to match interior trim. It probably wouldn't be the brighter color.
Right.
It'd make that interior hallway look, it'd link it together.
I got
It's green now, probably whatever we decide.
So conceptually, this is the direction we're going. Like I said, all of the colors haven't been finalized. Yes.
The other question that had come up a number of times ago, currently the window systems have an operating lower panel. We never use it. It's never opened. The hallway is air conditioned. It's climate controlled. So this new window system, both here and in the classrooms, won't have operating system to them anymore.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah. And as I mentioned the gym roof. The gym roof has a slope to it, as you know, and so we are looking at using shingles on that gym roof. Right now, it's It's a tar and gravel system that dates way back. And what we'd like to do is use shingles that match the ERO adjacent building. And it's an asphalt shingle. The color's called weathered wood. And the other thought we had was to use a standing seam metal roof on this roof as an option. However, that gives us a fourth. Let's see, we have the roof on Shannon Hall. We have the roof at ERO. This would give us a third type of roofing on this campus, and we're thinking we'd like to create a little more unity versus, variety in this case. So we thought we'd stick with the asphalt shingle.
Plus, this style and color of asphalt shingle was approved by the HPC that we have to take all of this to for the RO when we re-roofed it 4 or 5 years ago. So
Historic Preservation
we
Commission.
know I got that. We got that.
Yeah, we're planning to
That part's
submit
good.
that application this week to HPC, and we'll be presenting to HPC likely in March to get their blessing as well. This is a fairly good representation of the This is the north side. So you can see the one door that we're proposing to keep in this location. So we have a continuous line of windows. We are breaking up the windows with, as I should have mentioned before, we have some vertical pieces, staggering the vertical pieces from one window to the next. Again, the opportunity to put some color in the upper row of panels. And you can see the gymnasium in the background there and the slope of the gym. And we'll be repairing masonry that needs repair and tuck pointing when necessary. We're not anticipating that we'll tuck point the entire building this time. Most of the mortar is in decent condition, so we need to finalize the areas that need to be upgraded and repaired. This is the east side. This is the main entrance to the preschool at this time, and we're here, secondary entrance. This is an entrance into the gymnasium. There is actually an existing canopy here, which is in fairly poor condition. So I'm going to say it's about an 8-foot by 8-foot bucket canopy with a steel column that supports it off at this corner, and we're proposing to eliminate that canopy. Not repairing it at this point in time. The entrance is not used that much, but we're keeping the entrance for the sake of function and a quick way into the gymnasium for events, for people to bring equipment and furniture, that kind of thing, into the gymnasium for events. So in this case, on this elevation, we are proposing to use glass above the doors here.
Doug, I just want to make sure that, I know at one point with the main entrance, we talked about replacing the awning there as well to make it more of an elaborate main entrance to the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure we don't lose that.
Good point, yeah.
I think we're working with Upland on that. We're going to talk to them
Upland
tomorrow.
Design, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Take it off your plate.
Yep, it's off your checklist.
Well, good to know. Good. Let's see. So that's about the extent of this. I do. So this would be the south elevation, which is actually whether it's in the dome or in the so playground is right here, and this is a little bit of a wing that's from the old building, 1960. So I think that's it. Any questions?
Are those French doors that's going to be going there, or is that just a symbol?
This happens, I'm showing you my
it is used strictly as an emergency. It's not functioning as a natural emergency egress, because just to the left of that is another door that goes right into the lobby.
I couldn't tell if you were
That's a leftover screw door.
We would certainly welcome your
When we, board, we were looking at funding for the, we have a budget for the windows going all the way to the top, or?
We didn't. There was no specification as to, to what they were. So it's all. We'll make it fit. Just that was last.
Can you go back to just like the schedule of?
Oh, sure.
Sorry about that. It's not on what I have, so.
Right.
As far as programming and stuff like that, how would this impact our programs?
Sure, yes. We have already moved all of our summer programming to other Park District locations, so everything has found a home. Don't need to cancel anything.
Nice.
All found new homes for them.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we're maximizing the lodge, the event center,
Yes.
you name it, this room.
Brittany and her team have been extremely cooperative with having, and busy working all of that out.
Yeah.
Because just as a school, when they have to do these things to buildings, it just disrupts the whole works. So this is going to be one of the major things that we do.
Yeah, it's gonna
After
be-
25 years, it's
Yeah. And how will construction impact the new playground that we installed? Is there going to be digging and stuff that's going to be happening around there, or?
No, it should not really impact it.
No.
The work will be fairly light,
Okay.
moving windows and replacing windows. The roofing will be probably the major outdoor activity that we'll be doing. The roofer will have to certainly protect anything around the perimeter of the building, and we'll make sure that the specifications require that they do protect anything. But they'll likely pull roofing off and load it at the north side or at the east side, pull it all that way, and get rid of it from that side.
And they got to watch the new parking lot.
Yeah.
And Brittany's been working closely too with our facilities supervisor, Becca Atkins, on blocking off times for rentals of Shannon Hall and the East Side Center because, with the roofers, if somebody has a rental at Shannon Hall, then maybe they fear some of the activity next door. So she's been working really closely with her on that too.
I was going to say, when you had the slide up earlier, I think we will be able to occupy the vast majority of the building. We have determined that probably the kitchen work the actual creation of the kitchen work will probably be the last at the far end of the project because of events and stuff that have already been booked. And it would impact those kinds of things the least, and she's got it shut off now for probably mid to late September so that part may go a little bit longer than the rest of the building, but we'll be back into the classrooms and that kind of stuff at the very best in early September.
How has it impacted our bookings for weddings and stuff like that? Have we had to decrease bookings based on construction?
No, we haven't. We have still been booking for Shannon Hall, so yeah, I think it's about the same. It hasn't been going down. Becca's been working really great with them, so.
And we're prepared just in case we offer a construction discount or a part in our desk discount. Well, I think we like to say part in our progress. And people have been actually really practical. So really, I think we're just looking for a consensus, correct, to move forward in this direction. If there are any major design changes, if there's something that people would like to see, then maybe didn't see any questions they have. But ultimately, as staff, we've been working really closely. Jim's been doing a great job spearheading this project. And with performance. And Doug, we certainly appreciate all of your help and your support. But so yeah, I guess we're just looking for a consensus from the board. Like, you can give us an informal blessing that we'll continue to move forward in this direction.
I personally think it looks great, and I'm excited to see the progress and the completed work. Yeah, it's a long time coming, like Gina said. So, to me personally, from this commissioner, I think it looks great, and I think you guys did a great job.
Can I ask about it's interior? What would be done in interior? Are those doors going to be replaced and all that, or is this just exterior?
This is just exterior. The interior doors in the classroom doors are still in pretty darn good shape.
They're
and very
fine.
and usable, yes.
So we're going to have this like pretty shiny, updated building on the outside, and then.
Well,
We've been making repairs.
I know. I'm just asking. I didn't
well, if you
recall
remember,
what interior.
in 2020, there is another phase of work that will be doing fits and finishes and that kind of stuff,
Got it.
interior-wise. So
I thought you
we're not done spending money.
Just what's good? Because I got on the board, I was 6th year, and I had children at the gardens, and very happy to see this.
Along with the parking lot.
And the parking lot. I love it.
That's one of the reasons why you wanted to get on the board, was to fix the parking lot.
Thank you.
So is the plan to approve, continue with the plan, and then is there a formal?
It's not formal, it's really just a consensus, just that the board agrees that we're headed in the right direction with what's presented.
This is kind of the end of the schematic, and we're really going to jump into design development, which then puts detail to all of that stuff. Exactly what kind of window system we're going to use, what brand of doors we're going to use, all of those kinds of things, and then that runs right into the specs and documents, and out to bid we go. So,
In staff, we've been in tandem with Williams every step of the way, but right here, we're bringing it before you. And father, mother.
well, yeah, and we really want you to be on board with us as how those outside elevations will look. It's, and we could get really fancy and then spend a really lot of money, but this is a really good bang for our buck.
We'll be presenting a very similar presentation to HPC as well.
No, it's good.
Good. Thank you. Jen? Excellent. Thank you so much.
Right, yeah, thanks for coming in.
It's been wonderful to work with.
Okay, then along with those same lines, we have capital development and plan progress report.
Yes, and
Jim?
thank you. It seems like I've been gone forever, but it was really just 2 weeks. And it was a good 2 weeks because we've kind of been a little quiet. However, right currently, we have the Jones Meadow and Memorial Park playgrounds are out to bid right now. We're going to be opening those bids on the 7th, and we'll bring those to you for approval at the March 19th meeting. Kids Around the World has agreed to take the 2 sets of playgrounds, and we'll be doing their thing with them eventually. This is online, which is really cool. We don't have to do any of the administration of the specs and the bids and all that stuff. Right now, when I look today, we have like 5 plan holders, so hopefully that'll increase. Secondly, our projects in-house, our Big Woods site renovation project, which is working on the tennis courts and the drainage of the baseball field and regrading the baseball field and pathways and things that we didn't do with the playground replacement. We are having I think it's probably 85 or 90% plan review tomorrow with Upland Design, which they're going to show us those kinds of things, and if there's anything we need to switch or change. Otherwise, that's going to be headed out a little later in the spring for a later summer kind of thing. One of the items that is going to be addressed in that is an update to the big shelter that's there, new stone columns, et cetera, and getting that cleaned back up again. So that will be out of commission for about the last 3 weeks of September. We've got that blocked out. That's like the least used time of the year for that one piece. We got like 3 weeks and that's it. Otherwise, it goes, the fall picnics and stuff happen, I guess. And lastly, I spoke with contact Andrea Pedazza at the City of Batavia Engineering Department today. They are in the stages of finding an engineering firm that will do their construction administration for our Woodland Hill Stream Bank Stabilization Project. That's where the stream has been eating away and almost undermining the road. They are totally on the lead on that. We'll be part of the process and the meetings and those kinds of things, but that's going to be coming out, and they'd like to be starting in May with that kind of project. So that'll be kind of fun to be part of, but we don't have to do all the heavy lifting.
And that's by Woodland Hills Park.
Right at Woodland Hills Park.
Road.
Yep, along Wintergreen Terrace, the east-west road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So those are the kind of things that are really going
Just a few
on.
little things.
Along with all of this, and the playground.
And I'd like to welcome Jim back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Great, boom.
Due to HIPAA, I didn't tell the board where you were, what happened, but
Well, I think when I saw you last, I wasn't doing so hot. Yeah, but
You're
now
trying to get him in a wheelchair?
Yep, new hip,
Walking
and
like a
we're
new
ready to
man.
rock. Yeah.
Awesome. You ready to
Wonderful.
roller
I
skate?
am, yeah, no.
All right. You don't want to fall. Break your hips, right?
Yeah, that would not be probably the best thing. How do you explain that? Let's see. Doc? Yeah, I'm good. So, thank you very much. It is good to get back.
Perfect. Okay, then, next we have an update on the Fox Valley Special Recreation Association. I think there's a
Yes.
meeting.
yeah, actually, so Carolyn Nichols' last day will be March 29th as executive director, and so the executive director search has gone underway with Geneva Park District, South Elgin Park and Recreation Department, and myself. Three of us directors are all working together on the executive director search. And Carolyn just released a date for the IAPD Legislative Breakfast. It is for March 8th at 10:30 a.m. So if any
Is
of
it
you are
10:30?
available.
What day of the week is it?
10:30, you said?
10:30 a.m., March 8th. Anybody have
It's
any
a
idea?
Friday.
It's a Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bulls are playing the Pistons.
That is our Proderma biometric screen, right? That is the same, yeah.
So don't go eat.
Yeah.
Eric, you're gonna double check that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It is.
The 8th, okay.
definitely.
Oh, is it?
Um,
No, you
Where's
can't.
that at?
It felt like Rain Man just coming out with it, like, double check. So it'll be at the Vaughn Center.
Oh.
And it looks like so far pretty good attendance from the legislators.
Good.
And I would love to, if you are available to attend, I would love for you to just RSVP with me, and I can let Carolyn know.
Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
I can send out an invite sometime
Where is the Vaughn Center?
At
Am I the
Indian
only
Trail in
person?
Aurora?
in Aurora.
Oh.
Yep.
It's at
It's that
Indian
big
Trail.
gym, right?
Yeah.
It's that gym like that we want to have.
Maybe one day.
Soon.
Uh-huh. All right.
Okay. And then another update from the Batavia Parks Foundation.
Yes.
I missed the last meeting due to inclement weather and then a scheduling conflict. So my stand-ins.
Yes, we'll be happy to fill in the blanks.
They were busy, it sounds like.
Love it. So actually, just a friendly reminder about the Parks Foundation and Park Board joint board meeting next week. It's next Tuesday, 7 p.m. at the Lodge, and we will have a quorum. So it looks like Commissioner Riley is the only one that's unable to attend. So if anybody else is unable to attend, please let me know. But we are planning on doing an agenda like we do for special board meetings. And then I'll have a working agenda in addition to that. But the foundation board is excited. They actually did talk a lot about having representation here at our board meetings, so they could actually help give this report. So, they really want to create a dialogue, and there's a lot of new blood on the foundation board. In fact, I think they've just recruited 5 or 6 new members, and they're all eager and excited and really want to understand what the relationship is between the park board and the foundation board. So a lot of what we're going to see next week is a lot of new faces at the table saying, hey, you know, what does the park board think of the foundation? How can we best serve the park board? So if you want to start thinking of those things ahead of time on best ways that the foundation can best serve the park district and ways that the park district can best serve them.
Yeah, great. That's the meeting that's been waiting for a long time, I think, huh?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like October-ish.
Yeah.
September,
Well,
October.
and then just in general, just the cooperation and
yeah.
working together. I think there's a lot of energy that can be had from that. So terrific, thanks.
You're welcome.
And I'll check my calendar again. I'm looking at, I don't know why I said I couldn't make it, so let me check again.
He's got FOMO.
You know, there's 3 calendars you have to check, and I only have one on here, so. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, then next, schedule the executive session, but we do not have one. And that's as far as it goes. Jeez. Okay. Okay, and then any other business to come before the board?
There is not.
Okay. Seeing none, then I move to adjourn our meeting for today at 8:22.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Dorsey, second by Gray. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And adjourn. I don't have to say any opposed? Okay.
Plenty of the people that close the meeting.
All right, thank you. Okay, so our next meeting will be
Next Tuesday.
third Tuesday of next month, whatever that date is. I'll have to check one of my 3 calendars and find out what that is. So stay tuned. Thank you very much.